So I'm going to document this and claim this a tiny mini miracle and see what happens. We're going to do a little experiment. About 2 weeks ago, well, I'll give you a little history and background. It's basically, I had a wild hair that would grow right about here. And it's just kind of popped up one day about 4 or 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at least. And I was like, oh great, whatever. So I would shave it off, and it was just tiny little hair. It just gave me a little wild hair. It's thin. It, just kind of like popped up there. So I occasionally, about once every week or two, I'd shave it or pluck it, or of course it would come back. So last week, finally, I just kind of made a decision in my mind. And of course, many of you guys know, if you don't already, I do energy work and I do miracle making, and I'm all about getting healing done. And so I said, I'm going to pluck this hair. And what I said was basically going, I'm tired of this hair. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this hair, short of having going to like a laser process. And so I pulled out a pair of tweezers and I said, every time it comes up, I was just gonna pluck it and pluck, constantly just kind of super get it out. It might sound kind of gross for you guys, but believe me, there's a point here. And so, and I would just do that until it was gone. I figured if I kept doing it, it would kind of grow weary, grow tired, or the hair follicle itself would just pretty much stop working. It would just you pluck a hair enough and it stops growing. So pulled out the tweezers, my crafty little tweezers. Here they are. Like I said, this was about 2 weeks ago, and I said, pluck. And made an intention that I was going to get rid of this hair. I said, I don't want it anymore. I'm tired of dealing with it. It's kind of like an odd little hair. It doesn't seem to serve me very much. So I did. And 2 or 3 days later, I was expecting to kind of see it, and I kind of would run my finger across, see if I could feel the tip of the hair starting to come out, and nothing. And so I was like, interesting. And 4 or 5 days went, and still I was like, I remember driving in the car and just kind of reaching up, because usually I can feel it when it starts to rise up, and I said, and it wasn't there. So it's been 2 weeks, and there's been no regrowth of the hair. And it's kind of like in my mind, I'm like, that's kind of crazy, but also I think it's very, very cool. So I tried it on a couple more hairs. I said, okay, my body's changing. I have the ability to create miracles within me and decide what it is, that goes on with this body, and the power to heal and the power to, I don't know, correct things that don't feel like, I'm happy with. So I want to change in terms of the health or the growth of it. So I said, let's try this theory. And so I had 2 more little kind of wild hairs. My hairline, I don't have a whole lot of hair anyways, being Asian, so I shaved this and this, but it ends right here. But so I would have 1 or 2 other, about the same time that this one kind of popped up, I would have 1 or 2 others. I had 2 others, like right around here on either side of the Adam's apple. So I said, let's try those. And so about 4 or 5 days ago, I plucked those with the same intention. No more, you're done, no more regrowth. And true enough, they're not here. So I know some of you are watching this and going, yeah, whatever, hold on, I could be making this up, right? So I'm going to put this to the test on film, and I don't know if you can see it, but right here is a kind of wild hair. And in fact, this hair looks like, and it's below my sideburn, because my sideburn kind of stops right there. It's below about 1 inch right here. You can see it, a tiny little wild hair. And this one actually looks like a lot like the one that would pop up down here. In fact, it would get sometimes that long, kind of gross. So I'm going to pluck it. And we'll check back in a week. Today is the 10th of May to see if it has grown back, and I may even check back in a couple days. So, as my witnesses, ow, there it is. I don't know if you can see it. Tiny. This is crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit there. And so no hair, that's the only one. Hair be gone. So what I call the mini miracle series. See what changes, see what happens, and see if it comes back. All right. We'll see what happens. Talk to you later. Bye.